Pennsylvania CareerLink welcomes you to Highlights Along the Journey, a series of recorded events meant to spark interest along your journey to a new career opportunity. We are employees of the Pennsylvania Department of Labor, Bureau of Workforce Partnership and Operation. Our scope features current, market-driven needs of both employers and job seekers. Our mission is to discover and promote all that is new in employment trends, education, and training in southwestern Pennsylvania and beyond. We're starting the conversation, and we sincerely welcome you to explore these highlights along the journey.
Thank you. So I will give a very brief history of Bidwell. We were in our 52nd year, so we have been around for a really long time. However, we're a pretty well-kept secret, not because we want to be, just because we are a small nonprofit. We don't have a large marketing budget like some of the other colleges and universities have. But originally in '68, we were founded to help displaced steel workers. So, training them in a different trade area, bricklaying, electrical wiring, that sort of thing, more construction based. However, over the years, our programs have evolved. So though they have changed, we always stay in trend with what is in high demand in the Pittsburgh area workforce. Just to let you know a little bit about our former CEO, he just retired in 1972, Bill Strickland. He took over as CEO of Manchester Bidwell Corporation. Manchester Bidwell Corporation includes not only Bidwell Training Center, but also Manchester Craftsmen's Guild and the jazz program. So some of you that are joining us from Westinghouse may be familiar with our youth arts program that is an after-school program for high school students. So we're all kind of under the same umbrella, but he actually made it possible for our students at Bidwell to attend at no cost. And what no cost means is that as long as you have a high school diploma or a GED or equivalent, and are a resident of Pennsylvania, it doesn't have to be Pittsburgh, it can be anywhere in the state, you receive full tuition. You don't have to pay for your books, those are provided. If there's a uniform that is required, that's provided at no cost. And any special supplies that are essential to your training are also all provided. We are fully licensed and fully accredited, and we're actually also ranked in the top 2% of nationally recognized schools as a school of excellence, and we were fortunate to receive that honor 2 times in a row. So we are a very small campus. We're located on the north side of Pittsburgh. We're right around the corner from the casino in Heinz Field off the Beaver Avenue extension. We consist of 3 buildings, just 2 blocks apart from each other. The first building there with the tulips, that is our main building. And it does house the youth arts program and the jazz program, but also our culinary arts program and our chemical laboratory technician program. We've also moved some of our medical classes down there, medical assistant. The lab has always been there, but classes were in another building. So just because we needed the ability to space out our students in classrooms to provide for safety measures. Just up the block from there is the building in the middle. That is Harbor Gardens. That is where Student Services is located, where I work. Also, our medical offices are there for our medical majors, and our horticulture classroom is there as well. This is a building that we share with UPMC. So if you do eventually get the opportunity to come down and visit, you will see the big UPMC logo on the top, which is not in that picture. But it is still us. And then right next to that building is the Drew Matheson Center. This is a full retail greenhouse that we have on campus, and it is part of the learning environment for our horticulture technology students, as well as a place that we actually grow plants, seasonal plants, herbs, things like that, and we sell them to more upscale grocery stores like a Market District edition of Giant Eagle or Whole Foods. But we'll get to that a little bit more in a minute. So I want to start with our culinary arts program. This is one of the longer training programs that we offer. It is 12 months and it is a diploma major. And the difference between a diploma major and a degree is that a diploma major will offer a certification. So that will allow you to get an entry-level position in that area. Excuse me. So over 50% of all of our training is hands-on. That's not to say that you wouldn't still have homework. We do have textbooks that we use. So about 2 to 3 hours of homework a night. So it is a big commitment. Our schedule runs very similar to a high school schedule. We only offer classes during the day, nothing on the weekend and nothing online, although when we went into lockdown, we did offer some things online, but that is not usually how we operate. Our classes right now are all in person, just because we have taken extreme measures to make it safe for our students to return, because that hands-on portion is so important to our training. As we go through the different majors, you will see the start and stop times are different, but anywhere from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. is how our classes run. So in our culinary arts program, there is a big emphasis on food safety and sanitation. Everybody in Allegheny County is required to have ServSafe certification to work in a kitchen. So we actually train our students to sit for the management level ServSafe certification. We also offer the RAMP certification, which is the Responsible Alcohol Management. We also allow our students to become members of the American Culinary Federation at the beginning of their training, instead of waiting until they graduate. That way they can take advantage of the benefits that come with that, whether it be guest lectures or events that they can attend. So I often get the question, because it's so long, what do you learn in culinary arts? So we train everything. We give you all the skills that you need, from knife skills, pastry chef skills. All of our culinary students prepare lunch daily for the rest of Bidwell, well, actually all of Manchester Bidwell Corporation. And when I say lunch, it's not just a soup and salad. It is, well, there is soup, salad, a choice of 2 entrees, always a vegetable, a starch, and a dessert. So you are preparing, quite a bit of food during the day. We do have guest lecturers come in, guest chefs come in. You also get a little bit of restaurant management. So you are getting kind of a full circle of things. Just, in case our students do go into catering, so they would need to have that business information as well. Most of our students do go directly to work in kitchens, and we do employ, in higher end restaurants for the most part. The casino is a great partner of ours. They do hire a lot of our students as well. But we've also had students that have gone to work in the entertainment industry, which, the film industry in Pittsburgh is pretty booming, or it was there for a while. Also hospitality with resorts and spas, also schools and hospitals. So there are a lot of different places that you can use a culinary arts certificate. But you do see our students there in their uniforms, and they also receive a full knife set in an embroidered case, and they actually get to take that with them when they graduate from the program. So we're giving you the tools that you need to start your job. Moving on to horticulture technology, this is one of our most popular training programs that we offer. I think mostly because there isn't really a lot in the area that compares to this. It's only 8 months, so it's a bit shorter, and it does involve an externship. And the difference between an externship and an internship is really just the length of time. Externships tend to be a bit shorter. But again, we'll talk about the greenhouse a little bit. So our students have 2 classrooms. One is in that Harbor Gardens building, and then the other one is the greenhouse itself. In the greenhouse, they learn about plant propagation. We have a hydroponics greenhouse, so growing produce and herbs without soil. We also grow seasonal plants. So right now the poinsettias are getting ready to be sold. We also have a large Phalaenopsis orchid collections, so we do sell those too. And then in the spring, we'll have hydrangea, and in the summer, hibiscus. But the students, you know, in addition to the planting and growing, they also get that business, that retail end of it, so they have that experience as well. You do get 2 additional certifications with this training program. The first is the licensed pesticide application. So, you know, that's just so you can earn a little bit of extra income on the side. Insects and plants go hand in hand. There are good insects and there are bad insects. So this is always a good thing for you to have. And then first aid and CPR. This is a very physically demanding career. You know, you're working outside in all types of weather. There's a lot of digging and carrying and lifting. So to have first aid and CPR is very important, especially if you're on site and something would happen. We do site visits to a lot of different places. Horticulture is really booming. You know, Pittsburgh is becoming a pretty green city, but our students, you know, are learning about sustainability and that sort of thing, but they're also learning, you know, urban farming. We go on site visits to a mushroom mine north of the city. Here our students are working in a vineyard that we partner with, but also places like the Pittsburgh Zoo. They're a big partner to create and maintain the habitats for the animals. And of course, Phipps Conservatory is another large employment partner of ours. We're also seeing growth in the CBD and medical marijuana industry, which I'll talk about a little bit more when I get to the chemical laboratory technician program as well. But still, you know, our students do also learn landscape design, floral design, all of the basic skills as well. All right, moving on to our medical programs. We offer 3, the first of which is medical assistant. So a medical assistant is somebody that you usually would see when you go to urgent care or your doctor's office, and they're the person that's going to be taking your vitals, your height, your weight, your blood pressure. We also train our medical assistants in injectables and phlebotomy. So we also give them a little bit of coding experience as well. This is a position where it's a little diverse. So, you know, one day you might be more patient focused, you know, working face-to-face with patients, taking that vital information. But another day you might be in the front office, you know, working on billing and patient outreach. So we do give a wide variety of skills in this training so that you can do both. Most of our students do go to work in doctor's offices as opposed to an urgent care or a Med Express, but we do have partnerships with all of the large health employers in the area, UPMC, of course, Highmark, Allegheny Health, all of those. Pharmacy technician, this is incredibly high demand right now. We get calls on a weekly basis asking if we have any graduates available for placement. So a pharmacy technician does a lot that an actual pharmacist does, but technically they are the assistant to the pharmacist, but they do help prepare medications. You can see right now the student in this picture is preparing well, he's actually preparing an injectable from an IV, but we train our students to work in both a retail pharmacy like a CVS, Giant Eagle, that sort of thing, and an institutional pharmacy like a hospital. Over 90% of our students do work in hospital pharmacies. We also train in compounding, so that's mixing medications into pastes, powders, lotions, creams. Also, if a patient would be allergic to an ingredient in a medication, they can tailor that medication for the patient. But this can be a really specialized career as well. We have had students that have gone directly into like oncology medications, pediatric sedatives for surgeries. So you can tailor this to a specific area if you wish. And then the last of our medical careers that we train for is medical coder and biller. This actually used to be 2 separate training programs that we offered, but because the job has become more combined over the past few years, we decided to combine it so that you could receive training in both areas. what a medical coder does is they are responsible for assigning a very specific code to every single procedure that a patient goes through. So that information gets sent to the insurance company so they know what to either process as a claim or a denial for that patient. On the billing end, it's very much patient advocacy. You're often the go-between between the insurance company and the doctor's office, making sure that everything is coded correctly. If it's not, you would send that back to the coder. But mostly, we have had some students going into billing reimbursement, which is listed there. But for the most part, our students do end up working for an insurance company, or a doctor's office or a hospital system. Actually, UPMC Harbor Gardens that we share the building with, they have actually gone straight from the classroom into an externship and gone to work in the same building because there are coders and billers in that building as well. And then the last career that we train for is a chemical laboratory technician. And this is actually an associate degree. It is the longest program, 13 months, but that's still half the time that it would take you to get an associate degree if you went to a 2-year community college. This does also have an externship with it. This is, we give you the skills that you need for all of the careers that we train for. So you don't have to have any previous experience. However, I will say with this one, it does have, it's beneficial to have an interest in math and science, just because it is very heavily based in chemistry and math. But basically what a chem lab tech does is that they spend a lot of time in a lab doing experiments. It's called research and development. Quality assurance. Our students like to call it research and destruction, just because you are constantly trying to improve products. Our students work in labs in a lot of different areas. Brass Chem, which works with plastics, US Steel, PPG paints, Alcosan, which is down the road from us, so air and water pollution. There are a lot of different areas, that you can work as a chemical laboratory technician. This is an incredibly lucrative career to go into because our program is a little more advanced than typical chem lab programs. Our students come out above entry level. So it is, it is quite often that they earn higher than the average salary with this position. Another great thing about this is that most of the employers that we partner with want their employees to continue their education and training after this, and they have tuition assistance programs in place to help pay for that, if not pay for all of it. So again, if you, have an interest in science and math, this is a really wonderful area to go into. And especially speaking to those high school students that are here today, I just want to reiterate, Bidwell is no cost, so you don't pay anything to attend this program. We have career placement officers that work with our students throughout every single program that we offer. But, getting placed with one of our employer partners, earning a great income, and then also having assistance to help pay for furthering your education with a bachelor's degree and beyond, really keeps down that, student debt. So definitely something to think about. And I just mentioned our career placement, but we do offer that service throughout the student's entire time at Bidwell. There's actually a class that they attend. So our career placement officers do a lot of stuff. They work on, soft skills, communication skills. They set up mock interviews for our students. They take them on site visits to the employers that we partner with so that they can get an idea of where they might want to do their externship or even apply after graduation. So this is just a very small assortment of some of the places that we partner with employment. And, that our success is measured by our students' placement in employment. And we give you all the skills and the resources to do that, but I do want to make it clear that getting the job is still up to the student. So we keep things very simple. We have a 2-step enrollment process, which has kind of been even more streamlined now. Everything is online. So the first step is to simply visit our website. There is a thing called a career readiness survey, which just kind of gives you an idea of where you might want to focus. Once you fill that out, that sends our admissions rep a notification, and she reaches out with you with information on how to access our information session, which is a little bit more in depth than what I just went through with you, though very similar, and the online application. After you submit that, then you would schedule to sit for an assessment. All of our students have to take this assessment. It is an hour total, and it is in basic reading comprehension and vocabulary and basic math. And I do mean basic. It is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. If for any reason you would not pass a portion of the assessment on your first try, that's okay. We offer 3 more chances to pass each section of the assessment. But again, that is still in person, so you would need to call the admissions office to schedule after completing your online application. After that, we need 2 documents from you. One is proof of residency to make sure that you are a PA resident. And this can be either a driver's license or a state issued ID. If you don't have that, we can also accept a piece of mail that would have your name and a Pennsylvania address on it. And then we need proof of graduation. So this would be a high school diploma or a final transcript. For our high school students, we do conditional acceptances. So if you don't have a final transcript yet and you go through the enrollment process, we will conditionally accept you into your program, upon condition that we receive your copy of your high school diploma or your final transcript after graduation. Just a little bit about our placement into these programs. Our cohorts run twice a year for every single training program. We don't typically necessarily have a fall and spring start. Sometimes a start is in the winter, sometimes in the summer. However, Bidwell is on a first come, first served basis. So we urge you to start the application process as soon as possible, because we do often have waiting lists for our cohorts. Do not let it discourage you, though, if there is a waiting list for the next available start date for your program, because every single time we go through a waiting list before the class starts, because a lot of time can pass between when a student is accepted into a program and when the actual program starts. So a lot of stuff can happen. However, if you are on a waiting list for the next available start date and you don't get selected to be put into that, do not worry, your spot will be saved in the next available start date. Bidwell is also a one-time only opportunity. So if you enroll in a program and, we do have an add drop period at the beginning, during which if you decide it's just not the right training program for you or it's not a great time for you to start, you can safely withdraw from that program and still continue in the same or different program at a later date. However, after that add drop period, if you withdraw for any reason or are asked to leave, then that is the only time you would be able to do a Bidwell program. We do have a 90% minimum attendance policy, and we have that in place for a couple of reasons. One, because we work at an accelerated rate. If you miss a day of class, you miss a lot of information. We do have some makeup days available for that, though. The second is that the employers that we partner with look at the fact that our students are showing up to class, so they're most likely to show up to work as well. That is it for me. This is my information. Again, I'm Amy. If you do go through our website and fill out that career readiness survey, Carrie is our admissions rep, so she would be reaching out to you as well. But either one of us can help you with anything. Laurie, are there any questions?
I'll just open it up to anybody out here. Just for myself, the plan of action for anybody interested is first to go online and fill out
the career readiness survey.
Okay, so that's the first thing to do. And do you have dates of the programs that are starting? Did you cover that?
I didn't, just because right now everything is kind of fluid. We're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, because last time we got backlogged quite a bit. But I can send something to you before Thanksgiving. We should have a good idea. But typically, the next start dates for our medical cohorts are all full. Again, there would be waiting lists for those, but those are in March. Chem Lab just started, so those would be in the summer. Horticulture is in the summer, so they're February, but it's full. But the next one would be in the summer. So mostly we're looking at spring and summer starts.
Okay, so anyone who is interested, you're hearing that things are already full for the spring. Is that right? So
that's right. But again, go ahead and go through the process.
Yeah.
What we do is we put you in the next available start date, and also ask you, would you like to be put on the waiting list for the upcoming one? So either way, you're going to get a spot secured once you go through the enrollment process. But we do give you the opportunity to be on a waiting list.
Okay, so there are no evening classes. It's all daylight right now.
Correct. No evening classes, nothing on the weekend. Everything is between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3:30 p.m.
And there is transportation from downtown, correct?
We're on two main bus lines, the Ohio and I'm forgetting the other one, but it lets you off right at the front door.
Okay, so that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had two questions. So one, if they're interested, they should then apply as soon as possible.
Yes,
Great.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then, I had a second question. What was that now? So do your students generally work another job while they're in the program?
They do. They do. Not all of them, but we definitely do have students that manage a part-time job while they are going through our training. We are currently in the process of transitioning to a Monday through Thursday schedule, especially for our culinary arts students. We actually already started it. They're kind of piloting the program because so many of the culinary arts students did have to work starting on Fridays. But that would allow for office hours for our faculty. It would allow for makeup time for any, missed days, and also professional development opportunities as well. But yeah, I would say probably a very large percentage, at least 75% of our students do manage a part-time job.
Okay.
Amy, what is your most popular, I hate to ask you this, but I want to know, what is your most popular program?
It's horticulture.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hinted at that, and I thought, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. I hate saying this because I don't want to discourage anybody, because we go through those waiting lists, but horticulture is full through 2022. At this point, we have a waiting list for the next 3 cohorts.
Okay. All right. Well, wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing your information today, and for all the students that are here. I'm so glad you could attend as well.